Hey, what's up, YouTube? This King Geo in the house. Today we're gonna do come cook with me. It's gonna be a two-part series because I'm gonna do the first part, and we're gonna do pork roast. This is gonna be what's called in Spanish pernil. I do it differently than what normally people do in Puerto Rico. There's a reason why I do it differently. Before I go any further, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that bell button in the bottom, and that'll notify you that I've uploaded or will upload a video. If you hear me, I'm kind of sick. I'm kind of hoarse, so I go like this. So this is what you call a pork shoulder, right? You buy it in any, don't buy pork butt, just totally different pork shoulder. This is what we call pernil. And what I usually do, the condiments that I use, you use your own condiments. It's all up to you. But what I use is I use some of this adobo, right? I use plain salt and 2 packets of sazon with cilantro and achiote. And then what I do is I mix them inside here, this little cup that you see, right? And then what I did was earlier on, before this came on, is that I took this pork shoulder, right? And most people poke holes on the top and on the bottom, which is good to do. But I've noted that when you do that, the flavors, a lot of flavors don't go inside. It only goes to a certain amount of pork. So when you open it up, you say, "Oh, it did taste good." You taste a little bit of it, but you don't taste a whole lot. So what I do is, what I did earlier is that I cut it in half. You see, I cut it in half, right? What I do is I cut it in half. I open it up like it's more like butterfly. You put it like this. More like butterfly. You put it like this, right? And then this way, this needs a little bit of cutting. Make sure you have a sharp knife. This does have bone, so you do it like a little butterfly, right? And you could take the knife, right? And you could do one or two things. You could poke your holes here. People say, "Well, why poke holes if you're gonna still?" It's just to let some of the juice stay inside, right? That's just a little bit. If you don't cut it, then you have to do a lot of holes. Alright? And then I tell you what I do is, I'm going to use the juice. I'm going to get this frying pan. I'm going to put this. We leave the skin on top because we like to make pork rinds. And if you leave it for a while, you heard that, right? So you can look here. Oops, sorry about that. So when you leave it for a while, so I put it here, and what I'm going to do at the end, after I finish all this, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put them on aluminum foil. So I did some holes. I didn't do a lot of holes. I'll do more holes on the top than I am on the bottom. So what I do is I take this. Like I said, it's that salt, adobo, and sazon. You can put whatever you want on it. The condiments up to you. It doesn't have to be these condiments, but whatever's to your liking, salt to your liking, everything. And I just dibble it like this. You see? See how the red is coming out? Right? And then you take it and you put it around the meat. This is going to be done in the oven, but I'm just going to do it in the oven. But I'm going to leave it so long. I'm going to leave it for at least 6 to 8 hours. Basically more 8 hours. It's going to be for Wednesday. So you're going to see the result. That's when I put it in. So you see, and you take some of the holes that you put in, you put some of the juice inside. You can put garlic, you can put onions, you can put pepper, whatever you want to, But it's all, at the end of the day, it's all up to you. This is why I cut it in half, because when you cut it in half, this piece that you see here, that when it's whole, you don't see it. So everybody cuts on the top. Dust the top, but when the juice goes inside, yes, the juice is supposed to spread out, but sometimes it doesn't spread out. That's why you leave it for a long time. And the reason you leave it for a long time is that when you take it out of the oven, it shreds. You shred it. I don't want to put too much because this already has enough salt and condiments on them. You want the red just to give it a little coloring. Put a little bit right here. the juice that falls in the frying pan or whatever, whichever way you want to use it. If you want to aluminum foil or whatever it can be, I always put it in. So you see, so this, you can see it's red now. The hose right here. See? Now this side, you see this side? This is the bottom of it. And then here, I would poke some hose, right? Open that up. This is what normally you would do. You just start poking holes so then put juice in it. As you can see, I opened it up in half. So there we go. Maybe 4 or 5 holes is good. You want that so when you bite into it, you can taste it. You put a little bit of it. See that red? You just rub it. Put a little bit in the hose. Not much. You don't want to put too much, and then you're gonna over season. And a over seasoned pernil, a salado pernil, salted pernil is no good. So you do this, right? You rub it. Ooh. You rub it. Right. Like I said, I usually do this for 6 to 8 hours. This is what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna put this. I have a grill in the back. When I bought the house, I had a grill. So I'm gonna put it inside the grill, and I'm just gonna flame it up, and just let the charcoal itself burn, because charcoal does burn for a while. So put enough charcoal inside, so it would burn. It just keeps on burning and burning, and before you know it, this will be done. So you put it at 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 3 or 4, you can leave it longer if you want to. I mean, some people leave an hour. I'm thinking about 1 day probably, but I won't do that. See? Tell. Till you see the inside. And the inside. See, you still got the juice. And this is the piece that you would use as pork rinds, you know. So this you would normally, what I would do is I would just take it apart. Let me see which knife is smoother. I just finished with this knife. You see, I get a better cut here. So what I want to do is I want to be able to separate this from the meat. So this way, I have a hard time to have arthritis, so it becomes hard for me. I had a butcher knife, and I just did this knife, and I just use this knife. There we go. See, this knife is so much easier. It's not done for stuff for this, but hey, it is what it is. I just want to take a little piece. See, cut with the grain. See, and then sí, sí. Dale, no te ve. Sí, this is what I'm talking about. Contigo. See this right here? This is just basically peeling it back. Yes. So you see? take. I wasn't gonna take it off, but it already came off. So this, the difference between this knife that I bought the sharpener, didn't do crap, and this one, did it. So what you do with this, you season this, right? It's already seasoned a little bit. Season a bit more. And this will become pork rinds. So when you put it inside, even with this, you're not supposed to, basically, I don't leave this much meat inside. You can take that off. It's supposed to be just this white right here. Right, the white. It's what you call chicharrones. So then let me put this to the side. Let me roll it up like a boom. Let me stop. Okay. So being this part right here, that what's on top, what's on the bottom of the skin, that too has to be. So I'm going to make a little bit of holes here. Right. And it's always good because you can put garlic, onions. I'm not too keen on putting onions on olives. Not olives, garlic on this. Let's see. You put some of this, and you just smooth it out. And the reason you leave it from one day to another is because it keeps the flavor inside. And when you put the aluminum foil on it, it just keeps it all that moist inside of it, and it tastes real good, man. I know that most shows do this whole thing the whole one entire day, and one thing. I don't want to do it that way. I want to keep you in suspense. Part 2. Like I said, you could put any condiment that you want. See, look at the juice in this. Oh, this looks beautiful. Look at that. Look at that redness. Right? You do this. Right? Your hands are gonna get red. Don't worry about it. And then what I do is I take the scooper and I just, right before I'm going to put it back. You see, look at the redness of this. Look at that. That's all the juice. And I just turn this around and make sure that this side gets that same amount of juice that this side. See, this is already completely done. And so what you do is, you can take the skin, you put it on top, right? And then you go and you get yourself the aluminum foil. You get the aluminum foil, and since this is for Wednesday, I'm going to do this Wednesday morning. You're going to see, if you want to see it, well, you can see it live. It's gonna take 8 hours to do. But I will put it on Wednesday. I will put it on Wednesday so you see how it is now, Monday. So I'm gonna put aluminum foil on top of it. I'm gonna let it sit there for a day, as of today, until Wednesday morning. Come Wednesday morning, when I get up, I will put it in the oven. Not in the oven, in the barbecue. And I'm not going to barbecue it, people, just in case. So just put aluminum foil in it, and then put it in the barbecue. Because I have my barbecue has a door, so I can open the door, put the pork shoulder on top, cover it, and then cover the door. Because mine's with a sliding door. It's made out of brick. If you see my videos before, you see my house, you see how it is. I'm gonna leave it. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Put the aluminum foil, and then have it for 5 hours. And then I'm gonna do it. And then Wednesday we're gonna do rice with chickpeas, yellow rice with chickpeas and some mashed potatoes. That goes great with this. Great with mashed potatoes with eggs. That's good. And a couple of drinks, because I'm doing this because it's his wifey's birthday, and she loves pernil, so I gotta oblige. I love to cook. I mean, this is not the only thing that I cook. I cook a lot of things. So if you guys want something else that you guys don't know how to do, and and you want to know how to do it, let me know. So this is going to go into the fridge. This is going to go aluminum foil now. Then it's going to go into the fridge. I'm going to keep it down. I'm going to keep it to stay marinated for an hour, for a day and a half. And then on Wednesday morning, I'll take it. I'll do it. And then after it's done, you're going to see the process. And then you're going to see when I take it out. You're going to see how soft it is. And if this would have had smell-o-vision, yeah, it smells good. That's all you need. For me, all I need is these 3 ingredients. I don't need more. Sometimes I put garlic on it, but garlic is just too heavy of a taste for this. At least for me, it is. But I just put salt, pepper. My family don't like pepper, but I do. But as I put, if it was just me, I would put salt, pepper, and they give this, and you use this. You give this sazon just to give it a little that redness on it, the coloring. It does have salt on it, so don't and so that's more salt to it. That's good. You just put the aluminum foil on it. And if you want to do it in your oven, you can do it in your oven in your house. I would suggest you, if you want to do it, even with 4 hours, if you want to leave it for 4 hours in your oven, you can leave it for 4 hours and it'll come out. I'm talking about you just go like this. And it's shredded. It shreds by itself. And that's what it is. So you're going to see it on Wednesday. I do apologize. I have to do 2-part. I have to do 2-part. Okay? So this is King Gio. I am Horace. I'm sorry. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And let's go. It's pernil time.